What is up, my beautiful gemstones? Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. It is almost 90 degrees here in New Jersey, and we're at like 91% humidity, and my air conditioners aren't in yet. So I couldn't wear a wig. I'm like, they're just going to have to deal with pure original Gemma again tonight. It's so hot and it's raining, but the humidity is like way out of control. I do have a couple things I want to say tonight before we get started, but it'll be real quick and we'll move right on from it. What's up, Miss Heather? Good to see you. Good to see you. There we go. All right. Latro, I've just been sacked from my job as a prophet. I did not see that coming. If you think Greenland is the size of Africa, you have some real projection issues. Now, I had to literally sit and think about that one. I was like, what does that mean? And then I was like, oh my gosh, the words Mercator projection popped into my head, and then I had to look it up. I love it. I love it. An intelligent jokester. Miss Kelly Lewis, I hope you've come back, or at least will soon. Jim's camera, what's up, my lovely? Miss Heather, my little love bug, Blue Crossroads, looking forward to tonight. Me too. Josephine, thank you. Netter, my reading is going to be so ridiculously epic. I don't even know if I should get one. You should always get one. Always, always. Lotus Girl, I know, honey. And I know you support me, whether you're in stream or you're not. You are my best friend. I'm just cleaning a little dirt off my screen. I feel like I'm uncomfortable with how I look enough. I don't need dirt all over my face, too. You're fine. And I pray that you and Porky start to feel better, you know? Let's see. That's about it for now. Ghostdragonzw. Melissa Nicole. Oh, thank you, sir, New England. I knew you'd think so because you like the real hair. Yeah, it's like a scientific. If you look it up, look up the Mercator projection. It's this thing. It's hard to explain, but it makes Africa and Greenland look the same size, even though Greenland is like 14 times bigger. Then it's never mind. Science was never my best subject. So guys, I just want to talk really fast. Okay. I don't want to lose y'all, but I need to get this out. Normally I don't talk about this kind of stuff. It's kind of like whatever to me. I'm a grown-up, but several months ago, if you guys remember, I was streaming with Ghostdragonzw and Ryan Tremblay on Tuesdays. And I might have that backwards. Africa might be bigger. See, I don't know. I haven't been in high school since 2001. Give me a break. So I think Africa's bigger. I tried to sound smart and I messed that up. So anyway, you know, this whole thing went down between him and his girlfriend, and then she dragged kind of like me into it. So I have all of these Facebook messages going back and forth. I saved them, and I was pleasant and polite to her, but I explained to her that she's basically a lunatic if she thought anything was going on between me and Ryan, because he's in Arizona, number one. Number two, I'm married. I'm in New Jersey. Like, it just didn't make sense. And it seemed to me like a typical, I'm not diagnosing her with anything, but it seemed like a typical way a narcissist gets away with what they're doing is by pointing at the innocent party. Either way, I blocked her. He stopped streaming with me. Haven't heard from either one of them since we stopped doing that stream. Come to find out, she's running around YouTube and Facebook and social media telling people that the reason Ryan stopped streaming with us is because Ghostdragonzw was jealous. If you believe that, I get a bridge in Brooklyn over here. I want to sell you. All right. Also, the channel I used to work for, that I've written for 4 years, you know, a few years back, about 3 years ago, I had some issues. I won't say the person's name. Most of you will know who it is, but he hasn't bothered me in 3 years, so I really don't want to drag his name down. I had some issues with this person, personal issues. They ended up wanting more than friendship. I wasn't willing to give it, so they dropped every single project I was involved in, went and started partnering with someone who was willing to give those things. That person got the raise I was promised for 2 years. That person got the book deal. That person got the radio interviews, and I just got dumped to the side. So I went to the boss, the person who owns the channel, and they told me in no uncertain terms, if I opened my mouth about even a word of it, I would lose my job immediately, which at that time I was making $500 a month, and it was the only income I had coming in. I said, okay, I guess I'm not saying anything because, you know, I desperately need the money. I'm glad I didn't, because really, who cares? This is YouTube. However, I stopped working for him after a couple of years. He stopped, like, it was could never pay me. It was always late payment, late payment, late payment. So finally he asked me, I said, I'm not writing anymore. He's like, good. I really don't have the money to pay you. We'll pick it back up. We left on great terms. Someone named Sweetly Morbid Bear decided that she was going to take all of our personal and private conversations that I was having with her, thinking she was my friend, about this situation, and send them to the boss of the channel to try to get me fired. I had to explain to him they were from very long ago. I got the writing contract for a year. Right when that ended, the owner of the channel came back and asked me if I'd write for him. I have emails of all this too and text messages. I said, the problem is I need to know when I would get paid because I can't wait 2-3 weeks because this will be my only income. And it's just $50 a script, right? It's not really a lot. I have it in the email. He said, we'll pay me by the 22nd of every month. Remember, YouTube pays out on the 21st. Now I knew if the 21st fell on a weekend, they wouldn't get paid until the following Monday. So I wasn't going to be like a stickler about it. Paid me on time the first 2 months, which was starting last March, not this past March, March before, March of 2024. And then I was waiting 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes a month to get paid. I did eventually get paid. Then about 5 months ago, he said, if you can get me this script, 2,500 words within 24 hours, I will give you 50% of the revenue starting next month when the video starts earning. I said, let's do it. Now, this is the 7th or 8th time he's done this in the last 4 years. I've never collected any revenue. I didn't care. I was getting paid. Get into like, how much is this and this penny and that penny. So I was like, whatever. But this time I really needed the money. So in April, we both got paid on March 21st. On April 12th, I started asking him like, hey, I need that $150 at least. I said, and last month you paid me 3 weeks late and you promised me an extra $50 and you didn't give it to me. I'm like, now this month you're saying you're going to give me an extra $50. So I need that $200. And I do need to talk to you about that revenue for that video. All of a sudden he said, don't write anymore. And I'll pay you. Look, I paid you. And he showed me Cash App. I said, the money's pending. It's not in my account. He's like, not my problem. I said, so you don't need me to write anymore. And you're not going to pay me and you're not going to give me the revenue. You can't even give me the last $150 you owe me. And I was like, that's really not cool. And he's like, nobody likes you or wants to work with you anyway. You can't even keep your own channel running. All of these really horrible things. So I blocked him. That's the tea on everything going around. I also have 2 people in here I know specifically are spies. They come in and out. They go into all the other streams and they talk crap about me in the comments. They're only in here to kind of get information so they can go back and tell what's-his-face's girlfriend and the owner of this channel, oh, Gemma was talking about you. Got to watch the stream. Look what she said. Well, there you go. It's out in the open. I have receipts for everything that I just said. And if you got to spy on people on YouTube to relay messages, you're kind of pathetic. Either way, I know who you are. I know what you're doing. You can still come in because I'm never going to actually call you out because I don't care. Because everything I'm saying, I can literally show proof if I ever had to. I just want to be left out of the drama. I just want it to be paid because now I have no income. None. Zip, zero, zilch coming in. None. And I was given no notice. So my new book, it'll be a series. It's going to be called Missing Persons Mysteries. And it'll be all scripts I wrote throughout the last 4 years that I legally retain ownership of. I have it in writing, unless they want to come and pay me and actually buy the scripts. But I would need the revenue as well as the $200 they owe me for this month, the extra $50 from last month. So if anybody believes that it was Steven's fault and not Ryan's girlfriend, you're insane. like you're crazy. But that's okay. I hate even having to discuss this. I'm 42 years old. I'm not in high school. But when someone's running around behind my back, I'm losing opportunities because people are thinking that, like, someone ran from this stream, and I know exactly who did it, to when I was saying the one girl, she was so nice to me, but it was like fake nice. And she said she was going to, get me on her channel and get me hooked up with this one and that one. And then the next day, all she did was steal my idea. This person ran right to them and told them. One more thing I'll say before we get started is after this person fired me and screwed me out of at least $1,450 worth of money. Okay, so think ad revenue for about 4 months on a video that got about 30,000 or more views. Okay. Plus an extra 50 plus the 150. I don't know the exact number. I know he owes me 150 for sure. The extra 50 promise he should give it to me because I didn't ask for it. He just promised it. And 4 months of ad revenue on one video. So then to add insult to injury, he has someone he used to work with that I thought he cut ties with. Message me the next day and pretend to not know what was going on. You guys know who I am and what I do. I knew what was happening, but I was so hopeful because I need a job, right? I can't work outside of the house. I was so hopeful. I put the intuition aside and I said, what's up? Do you know what so-and-so did to me? And this person's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Tell me more. So figuring he's going to report back to so-and-so, but hoping that he wouldn't, because he said the reason he was asking is because a friend of his needs a scriptwriter for their channel. Well, guys, this was 3.5 weeks ago. Nobody's got in contact with me. So he had this person message me and tease me with a job to pump me for information. Meanwhile, when he sent me the picture of my money sent that was pending in Cash App, he had over $1,800 in there. So this person's not hurting for money. They're not broke. I would hate if the IRS got any information on them with the tax problems they're having. You know, we don't want that. But now I'm going to move on. But I felt I needed to defend myself because it's been months of me hearing these things, right? Months and months. Chris Jarvis, SMB, did that to me because she asked me to fake the readings for the man that she flew across the country to get drunk and sleep with and then flew home. And then once he started dating someone else, they both started coming in here. It was another gemstone who comes in every so often, but I won't put his name out there because he's a sweetie poo. And I told her I'm not going to fake readings. She got really mad and she sent all that stuff to my boss in the hopes that I would lose my job. That's why we don't talk to her. Let me bring in Ghost Dragons and let's get started. There is no one who needs a scriptwriter. That person was simply messaging me to find out what I was going to say publicly about this person who didn't pay me. It was like, oh, tell her you have a job for her. I know she's desperate. I just fired her and took everything she had left. After years of abusing her and making her cover up sexual harassment with the threat of her job hanging over her head. People are evil. Money can be demonic when you allow it to rule you.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Nomeo, Jarvis, sorry about that. Aunt Edna, I pulled you in as soon as I started saying hi to them. But you know what, Aunt Edna, that's why you see like certain people, yeah, I may not have 315 or 316K subscribers, but my channel's consistent. You don't see me restarting with different people working for me every other month because they're the problem, right? Nutslap, you remembered. Roger Blair, I think I saw come in as well.
Yes, he was in here. Hello, hello.
Let's
do this. You want to get this started? Well, Kelly Lewis, are you here? She was the first. And if Kelly's not here, go ahead and do Mr. Blue.
You know, Jarvis, that one person, the boss with the S, that's not even his real last name. That's not his real name, his public name. Like, my name's Gemma Jade. That's not my government name. Mark Halstead. Sorry, I didn't see you at first, but I should have known you were here.
Yeah, I should have said something.
I don't know who my other boss with an S would be, though. But I know the one. That's not his real name. You mean Scott Tinch? Oh, did I say his real name publicly? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did that. I'm sorry. Who was first? Kelly Lewis, let us know if you're here.
And go ahead and do Blue.
Blue.
Is Heather here? Well, actually, if Heather's here, you could do her, then Blue. I know
Heather's
Blue's
here.
I just call him.
Yeah, Heather should be here. Heather, I'm going to use Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. I just feel like it's so juvenile. Like, if you don't like me or you have an issue with me, if I'm not actively bothering you, leave me alone. Like, she had an issue with me streaming with her boyfriend because she was jealous of how I look. And that always happens when I get really close to people who have girlfriends. It's been happening my whole life. But it's whatever. It's like, okay, he quit the show and he took me off all of his social medias. I have not spoken to him since. He's been in here like once. Why are you still talking about me? Why are you still talking? I guess because I brought up a few weeks ago, just kind of offhandedly, why he didn't. I wasn't even meaning to put anyone out there. But sometimes when you speak the truth, that's the thing, Anna. I have no contract, so I can't. But what I can do is promote my new book series, Missing Persons Mysteries. Not Missing Persons and Mysteries, Missing Persons Mysteries. And I'm going to make money off the scripts that I wrote, that I have a email written permission to use anything I've ever written for them in any way, shape, or form that I choose. I basically retain ownership of my writing when it comes to them. So if he doesn't want to pay me, yeah, it doesn't help me right now, but in the future. Or he can buy them from me for $1,500, which is about revenue, the extra he promised me, and the $150 he owes me. Nothing more, nothing less. When you're in a relationship, Netter, with a narcissistic, very toxic, cheating, beating, crazy person who cheats on you, even with the females that are around, you get like kind of, it's usually called battered woman syndrome, but it happens to men as well. And they get so used to that to them it's normal. Blue Crossroads, I have no idea. If you're asking me a question, I didn't see anything.
Are we leaving the camera like this? Are we staying like this?
No, I probably should fix that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, hon. I didn't see if you asked me anything. All right, Miss Heather. Okay, so you got the Selkie, the card of freedom. Card number 2. Heather, you can only pretend. Blue, if it's important, just text me. You can only pretend for so long before you must find truth again. Seek authenticity. Containing yourself in form that is not your own is rarely successful long term. Find what sets you free, acknowledge your inner truth, and be aware someone may be deceiving you under false pretenses. Before we go on, Heather, I think you're more than likely more than aware of at least one person that's kind of worn out their welcome, not only in your life, but in your energy as well. I do get a feeling from you that you're just trying to kind of work around this person and their toxicity for now. Selkie mythos is shared in the places where the sea is a truly dominant force and where colonies of seals live, like the Shetlands and other Scottish islands, or the Faroes, Norway, and Iceland. I have personally read and listened to a lot of stories about Selkies since I have a kin bloodline that is Selkie central. The mythos of the Selkie was something I dreamed about since I was small, and there are many versions of the Selkie mythos, but most involve beautiful, haunting imagery of female shapeshifters, women who live in the body of seals, but who can transform into enchanting women who appear human on land. A typical Selkie story is of a human man who watches a Selkie playing in a cove. She, at times he observes, comes ashore for various reasons, dropping her skin and shape-shifting into a woman irresistible to him. When her land business is complete, she steps back into her sealskin and returns to the wild ocean that is her home. The human man falls in love with this Selkie woman and decides to wait for her to next transform from her seal form, and when she does, to take possession of and hide her Selkie skin. If a Selkie's real skin is withheld, they cannot return to the ocean. Jarvis, it's you. I know it. Unable to find their sealskin, Selkies are adrift in the human world. They become reliant on the kind human man who takes care of them and who begins to teach them the human way of things on land. Often the Selkie and the human man marry and even have children, but the wild heart of the woman is, of course, wedded truly to her life in the sea, and she wants to go home. She yearns for and to be her true self. Eventually, the Selkie finds her skin and is reunited with her authentic form. Without a backward glance, she steps into it, allows herself to be enveloped by her true shape once again, and re-enters the aquatic world. Some stories tell of Selkies coming back every now and again to visit their children. Some say they never ever return to the world of men who contain them under false pretenses. What's up, Willie? And yes, there were male Selkies, reportedly too, incredibly beautiful in form and very seductive. It was said that these Selkies looked for lonely human women to fornicate with. The essence of the Selkies is the idea of the triumph of authenticity over pretense and containment, also the deep pull of the wild self. After all, if the Selkies got their true skins back, they did not hesitate to leave the human world behind, and that included even sometimes leaving their own children. Mark, that is very well said. Your plant companion is bladderwrack. I have no idea what that is, but your crystal companion is opal. So that's October birthstone. It's a beautiful stone. All right, Heather, I feel like this is something that's been a long time coming for you, okay? You've been growing and changing mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychically for a really long time. You've been on this kind of spiritual journey, and I feel like you kind of stumbled into it. I don't think you went out looking to be your best self. right? You just fell into it because you stepped into that energy, into that vibe, for lack of a better word. The problem is when we change in this way, and every one of us in here, more than likely, at least my gemstones, have done this. The people around us don't always change with us. And most of the time, they don't change with us. No one does, because we're all on our own individual journeys. I don't remember who said it, but someone, and I love this quote, said, "We are all sentenced to a lifetime of solitary confinement in our own skins." So I feel like there's one person particularly, and I believe it's the same person we talk about, a lot with you, who just cannot, it's not that they really can't accept the changes. They're so envious of them. And the way this person is treating you, you may not see it as envy, as they're jealous of you, but that is what it is. Because you made a decision to do something better and to be something better, and you went and did it, and you're accomplishing it, you're achieving it, you're learning and growing and changing. And when people say, "Oh, she's not even on your level," or "she's not on your level anymore," right? That is an actual thing. It's an energy thing. It means something real. You met this person, you were both here. Slowly but surely, now you're all the way up here, and they're like, "Who do you think you are?" It's like you're never going to vibe with them again unless they come all the way up here, which in your case, I'm sorry to say, with the energy of that person right now, it just doesn't seem likely. Heather, what this card is saying is, while the universe and most people, especially in this community, and myself included, understand that you can't just leave a toxic or negative situation all the time. And in fact, most times, women and men just can't get up and leave, okay? There are other things in play. It's not easy. We're not teenagers, right? We have stuff. We own property together. Maybe we have pets or children, or, there's financial. A lot of the times with relationships that are narcissistic and or toxic, there's financial abuse. But what this card is saying is that sooner or later, more than likely sooner if it's coming up, you're not going to be able to balance the two anymore, right? Toning yourself down a peg or two just to not have to deal with this person, or totally ignoring and avoiding them altogether, it's not going to work for you long term. You have outgrown this person. And I also feel like there are other people too that aren't understanding your growth and the changes and like your ambition. But this one person in particular is intent. They are so intent on taking you back down with them to where they are. And you're not willing to do that. I feel an emotional explosion coming out of you in the next couple of weeks if you're not careful. That's exactly what this person wants. They want you to come back down to their level and fight and argue and snap and yell and blow up so they can point and say, "Do you look what I have to deal with? Look, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm angry." When, most people will know that's not true. Heather, what the universe wants you to do, obviously, we don't want you lashing out like this or rage reacting, but I just feel like, you poke the bear for long enough, the bear is going to attack. And right now you're the bear. Okay. Take a step back. Remember that that's exactly what this person wants. And the one thing I'm seeing very clearly is like, don't be fooled by them. They may try to charm you, or they may breadcrumb you to make you think that they're growing and changing and having a moment of clarity. That's all it is a moment. And the clarity is of how to manipulate you into thinking they're along for the ride and supporting you. This person does not support you, will not ever support you in this. They are bitter. They are jealous. And the last thing they want is for you to succeed. Because instead of being able to love you and care for you enough to be happy for you, they feel like it's an affront to them. They're embarrassed. What are they doing with their lives? Heather, take a time out, stay as far away from this person as you can in the next couple of weeks. Specifically, if you live with them, you're going to have to just start being more yourself. And if they don't like it, that's too bad, because the more, I know this has been a long reading, but it's important. The more you try to contain yourself to fit into this person's box or bubble, the faster you're going to blow up. And then you're going to have even more problems than what you already have. Be who you actually are at all times. Unless you're in danger of being physically abused, then, you may want to tone it down. But in any and all other cases, be yourself. Say what you mean what you say. Don't pacify them. Don't placate them. Speak the facts. Truth. The truth matters. Blue's next.
Yes, and I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay. Blue, I'm using gateway to the liminal spirits. Huh? Four-foot shoulders. Wow. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to imagine that. Jarvis. I love Wawa. Love it, love it, love it. They're more of a South Jersey thing, but I do see them every once in a while here in North Jersey. Like on the way to my doctor, there's one. Walnut. I'm watching The Sopranos from episode 1 all the way to the end. What's up, Divine Empathic? I love it. I love that show. I haven't watched the whole series in years. I thought of that because Paulie Walnuts. Never mind. Walnut. Nice. That's cool, though. Wawas are good. All right, Blue. The walnut is associated with protection, love, dreams, inspiration, and intelligence, as well as containing, cleansing, and banishing energies. In the Italian town of Benevento, there was said to be a huge walnut tree where witches would gather to celebrate their rites and work their magic. The chemical attributes of walnut's leaves and fruit dissuade other plants from growing underneath its canopy, which gives it an otherworldly or even sinister nature. Its nourishing nut bears an uncanny resemblance to a brain when whole and looks like a heart or an owl face when split open. It's time to gather together and celebrate, to enjoy the moment and cherish the company of those gathered near you. Love is in the air. Just as you would nourish your body with food, be sure to give that same level of attention to your mental and emotional well-being as well. What have you done lately to fascinate your mind and free your heart? Identify the personal qualities or the things in your life that are holding you back, and then focus on containing or eliminating them. And Heather, if you're still listening, that's important too. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Contain this situation if you have to live with or work with or be around this toxic person all the time. Netta, are you leaving? Or eliminate it altogether and finally take that step. If you can't just leave for any of the multitude of reasons there are, Heather, sorry, Blue, give me a second. This is important. Make sure you are at least putting a plan in action, even if it's just in your head right now. You can't keep going like this long term. You will hurt your soul. If you ever went to someone to try to get back soul pieces, that takes a long time. Oh, no, you don't have to have a reading now. Oh, okay. I see. So, Blue, love is in the air. Let me just look at this for a second. I don't feel like your emotional and mental well-being are like suffering right at this point, but you are having, I think, just some balancing issues, right? You're a Libra sun, so that's mind over matter. Like what you think could possibly happen, doomsday scenarioing things, or just logically playing things out in all different directions, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Then your heart really wanting to believe and see something, all the different ways it could work out and how it is. But you have to check in with your instinct and your intuition, because that's where you're going to get the answers you seek. I do feel like, I do see you, because when I speak to you, even privately, and when I see you in stream, you are in alignment. It's just there's this existential worry all around you where you're not really allowing yourself to relax and enjoy kind of the fruits of your labor, right? Not like, obviously out partying and doing crazy things, but from one moment to the next, you're worrying with very brief glimpses of being calm and allowing the universe to take action, for nature to take its course, so to speak. You are on an amazing, wonderful path. You're right aligned with your destiny. I do feel there's someone who could end up inadvertently bringing you down with all of the what if scenarios, and they're just trying to help. But sometimes, even when people are trying to be helpful, we just have to tell them to be quiet, because it's not helping, right? It's not helpful if you're already struggling through something and you finally get to a place of comfort and or contentment with it, and then someone comes in with, well, what if this happens? Like, you've already played all those scenarios out in your head a bajillion times, and you're just looking for that balance. I do feel you're on the right path. You're on the right track to it. Maybe a little bit more communication. And we did talk about that privately with your private situation, which I don't talk a lot about publicly. Just maybe a little more communication, and making sure that you're not building up bitterness. Because I do feel like you're going to get what you want, and you're going to get it much sooner than you expect. But if you allow all of this bitterness and these what ifs and these negative thoughts and all this negativity to build up, even when you get what you want and things are going amazing, you're still going to have these things in the back of your mind. You have to work through them now, whether that be by yourself, with professional help, or with the other person and or people involved, if there are any. Don't let anyone rain on your parade. Who's next?
Josephine, but Josephine, are you here, hon? And after Josephine is Melissa, so.
Josephine, I'm going to use Goddess Power. Josephine, you got card number 19 in the upright. Gula, the card of healing. Gula, the Babylonian goddess of medicine and healing, has come to guide you as a blessing and for your well-being. You're being invited to address the areas of your life that need healing. Perhaps you have moved so quickly through your life that you've forgotten about self-care. Now, I don't know how you could possibly forget about self-care coming into this chat every week, but let's go through it. Perhaps the stories you've told yourself about who you are need healing. We don't always see that we are hurting ourselves or that we're hurting others. Take heart, for Gula comes into your world as your ally, saying that now is the most auspicious time to focus on healing in all aspects of your life. I like the new map. In fact, only good things will come from your actions here. And now is also the perfect time when you can be assured that you can heal with others as well. Be sincere and call upon Gula for the precious commitment. For this precious commitment. You may also be called to the path of the healer now. If so, the goddess Gula supports this wholeheartedly. You just need to be willing, respect others, and do no harm. Miracles will arise out of nowhere. So Josephine, there's a couple things here. The first thing I'm seeing is, I'm seeing blame being placed on you in an area where you have no, like, it's not, whatever this is, you had nothing to do with it, or it what a person or someone, I just see people like pointing the finger, and you're just like, what did I do? Right? Josephine, this is a call for you to stand in your power and stand up for yourself. Okay. I think you've also, just like I said to Heather, you've gone through so much growing and changing and learning and all of this healing, even if you're not fully healed, that a lot of the people around you don't understand it. And the relationships you've cut off, the bridges you might have, I don't want to say burned because you didn't do anything wrong, but the people you walked away from, the situations and relationships you walked away from because of your healing, people don't understand it. And I think most of them don't want to, they just want a scapegoat. What this card is saying is, you know deep down inside that you did not do anything maliciously, right? So if someone's trying to place blame on you because you hurt them or you did something, nebulous to them, like it's your fault. I was depressed all day Saturday and I didn't go to work, right? Okay, well, sorry, right? Not even sorry. There's no need here for you to apologize for pouring into yourself, putting yourself first, and demanding better or more. Now, I don't know what this healing thing with others is about, but you could either be going into a vocation of nursing or something, or I do see someone around you possibly falling ill or being sick already in the hospital, or just, there's some kind of illness here and you're kind of being called to take care of them. It's okay if you do that, but again, don't let it become a job. Make sure all the things you're doing for people, particularly in the next 1 to 2 weeks, Josephine, is coming from the kindness of your heart, not being guilted or feeling forced. Okay? Because if you don't want to be helping someone, you're not going to give 100%. And if someone's really sick and they really need help, they deserve 100%. Not to mention all of these people around you, I see you just pouring their problems on you like you're some sort of problem coat rack. No. You've got to put your foot down, and that may be really scary, and it may create an uncomfortable conversation or situation, but the time has come. You've learned enough about yourself and the people around you, who's with you and who's not, to be able to push those who are not aside, no matter what they try to place on you. You got this. I really believe you can do this, and I think this is going to be a huge milestone in your life and in your spiritual growth and healing. Thank you, Sir Mark.
Is Melissa.
Melissa, I'm going to use Halloween. I'm so excited. The nice weather is finally coming. I'll just be happy when the air conditioner gets put in. I'm hoping he'll do it tonight. I have asthma and I vape, as most of you guys know. So I really have a hard time in humidity. Like, I can't breathe. All right. Miss Melissa, the card of invisibility, authenticity. You know that feeling you sometimes have that someone is watching you? You can't see them, yet you have a distinct feeling that someone's here. All the hairs are up on the back of your neck. You think you see something in the corner of your eye, but when you turn, there's nothing to be seen but empty air. This is the power of invisibility, the indirect fear and the covert threat of having to fight something that we cannot see. Humans have a strong visual sense, Melissa, so it's no wonder that we're uneasy about things we can't see. The ancients believed that all manner of creatures, mythical and physical, and of course the deities or deities, could make themselves invisible at will. When we consider that some animals are camouflaged so well by their coats or behavior that sometimes even if we're looking straight at them, they're hard to see within their environment, that invisibility isn't such a far-fetched concept. In many cultures, the idea of beings who could watch us undetected were and still are common. Jinns, angels, nature spirits, the fae, and even practitioners of magic, such as witches, are said to have the power to appear and disappear at will. Later, in literature and then in movies, invisibility becomes a common power, and we now have fictional superheroes that are invisible and even cloaks of invisibility. The concept of invisibility is a double-edged sword. Whilst it's a powerful tool to be able to gain information or to assist whilst no one sees, individuals using it are privy to information that may not be meant for them, and it may be taken out of context or unethically. It is the power of manipulation and easily abused. The idea of hiding away and not being seen is also a big part of the dark side of this concept. We're all born to shine our light into the world and to play our roles. Hiding our talents, not expressing our true selves, stealing others' ideas or work, and being someone else rather than your authentic self are all aspects to consider should this card appear in your reading. So this reading, unlike a lot of the others that I give, is more of a consideration, right? The universe is asking you to consider, Melissa, who you really are. So I have my window open, and maybe take down the time ghost in case she's working and she's not hearing this. I said the same thing to Heather, and maybe this is going to be a theme for the night, one of the many themes we always pop up with. You can only make yourself invisible or small for so long. You have a giant, beautiful light that has been over and over again snuffed out, and you're not in a position really to walk away. I do feel like there's a chance that you could be asking for help from someone, but you're just not. You've become so comfortable in the abuse that it's like, this sucks and it's not going to be forever, but it's what, because you're used to it. And I understand that. I would never judge you. But making yourself small, dumbing yourself down, dimming your light so someone else can shine, dumbing yourself down so someone else can feel smarter, you're ruining your soul. And the way I said that, I don't like the way that came in, because it's like I'm like attacking you, and that's not what I'm trying to do. What will happen after a while, and I do believe, unfortunately, this is what's happening to you, Melissa, is that you're losing pieces. You're fragmenting from the inside out. And what happens there is, when it's your time to go, you'll pass on, but parts of you will stay. And most people that this happens to, it's pretty rare as far as I've seen or that I've experienced in my life, but you will start to be haunted by you. So Melissa from this life will haunt Melissa in the next life. You will somehow end up, not to mention the repeating patterns. You are withering yourself away almost at will, just to make someone else feel more comfortable, just to make someone else feel smarter, better, stronger, etc. And this is not what any of us were put here to do. Melissa, there's only so much I like to say about your situation, because I understand that in 99.9% of it, your hands are tied. But you really do, as I said to Josephine, as I said to Heather, and I do think this is going to be a theme, because something similar came up for me when I was communing with my guides earlier this week. You've got to be who you are. You can only be all these different versions of yourself for all these different people for so long, because each version makes up a part of the whole. They're all you, but they're all parts of you. Don't you want to experience friendships or even intimate relationships where the person knows all of you at once? Because even if your abuser, it's like, claims to, I know you best, no one will ever know you like I do. Like, no, because there are so many things you have to keep from them. You have to keep from them. Someone in my family works at a gas station, and she got a raise of like such a small amount. And she was just so proud of herself. She had never worked a day in her life. She's in her 40s. She's been at this gas station for a couple years. The reason she's working is because her boyfriend is incredibly abusive and a bum. Okay, so she started working while he was in prison on another one of his stints for beating her up. And she got promoted one day. And she was so excited, and she wanted him to be proud of her so bad. She got in the car, she gave him a hug and a kiss, and she's like, I got promoted. He took her by the back of the head, smashed her face into the steering board, and then made her sit there while he pulled chunks of her hair out one at a time to show her that she's not better or smarter than him. And I feel like, Melissa, maybe not that exact scenario, but there's something like that in your life where you can't even be happy for yourself. You can't even achieve anything. You can't even, it's like, why bother? Like, just going through the motions. And the universe is telling you, like, you're going to wither away. I'm not saying you're going to die, but the more you do this, the less you're fighting back. And there are ways you can fight back. And I feel like opportunities for you to fight back and really try to move up and get out of there, even if it's next year, get out of there in one piece and with your life, you've got to start taking baby steps. You have to, and really have it in your heart and mind that you're going to leave. And you might need outside help for that. So even if it's not a professional, allow other people who have been through the same things or similar situations to help you. Don't think that you're alone or that no one could possibly understand, because there are people around you right now that you may not even be aware of that have gone through something similar and survived it and want to help you. Okay. Well, it's not the person in my family's fault. She's a battered woman. When you're raised in a particular way where you grow up with no self-esteem, those are the types of relationships you end up in. And Melissa, I'm not saying that for you, but I know like in my family, it didn't matter that I was on the honor roll. It didn't matter I would have gotten skipped 2 grades. It didn't matter that I was smarter than half the adults in my family. It was always, look at your beautiful long legs. You should be a model. Oh my God, your eyes are so gorgeous. Look how skinny you are. You have perfect hands. It was always about the looks. It was never about my brains or my accomplishments, achievements, wants, hopes, needs, dreams. It was always about how I looked. And that does something to somebody, especially a young woman. Who's next?
Edna. Edna, you still here? You're next.
Divine, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. For grasping. I just was saying. It was everything. Love it. Blue, I love that. We should talk personally. I'll have some time Sunday. I'll hit you up. There she is. And I'm using your favorite angels and ancestors. She's in the bathtub. Oh, she's so lucky. Heart guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. Excuse me. Yeah, and welcome with open arms, opportunities to give and receive love. The Heart Guardian is an angelic energy that can help you call for protection and guidance with all issues surrounding the heart. This is essentially the angel who helps you with all relationships, whether they be with yourself, family, or even a romantic connection. She can enable you to move beyond any limiting fears about trust, discern whom to trust, and understand how you can move forward in a balanced relationship with that person. In this card, she's adorned with a sacred heart and draped in a red cloak to show her capacity to let love lead the way. You are loved, lovable, and loving. The energy of love is surrounding your whole world at this time, and the angels are swirling around you, encouraging you to open your heart and reveal the blessings that you have to offer. They want you to know that you are a highly loving being who deserves to give and receive love. If you're finding it challenging to feel love at this time, it's important for you to give yourself credit where it's due. You are also encouraged to welcome support from others. Learn to receive. Don't try and do everything on your own. If you're working on a relationship or are in a new one, this card can usher in energies that allow you to forge a powerful connection with your partner. Love is in the air. So this isn't talking about making up with your enemies, okay? Sorry, my lips are getting dry. This isn't talking about allowing toxic people back into your life. What this card is talking about, and I believe for you, and it is a little bit off card. Sorry. I hate that. When you wear, you ladies will know, when you wear matte lipstick and it like peels your lips off. This is talking about you opening up again to, you're the type of person that you may feel like you're a loner, but at the end of the day, you're not really meant to be a loner because you have so much wisdom and light and love to give. But you've had to cut so many people who took you for granted, treated you like poop, narcissists, toxic people over and over again out of your life that it's like, you're good. You're good with just a couple of few people. Good. You're good with the couple of few people that are in your life. However, I feel like in the next couple of weeks, someone could be coming to you for help, and it could be your granddaughter. So keep that in mind, where it's almost like I'm seeing you like flashing back of like, oh gosh, like somebody else has asked this almost the same advice or has been in the exact same almost situation and came to you. And this is kind of like a redo for you to maybe give a different perspective, right? Than the one you gave the original person. That doesn't mean you were responsible for anything that went wrong the first time, but it does mean this time it's like you have a bigger, better perspective on it. And your perception of it as an elder is different. All right. So the universe is saying here, don't shut down, particularly if it's someone you love. And I do think it will be. Make sure you give not the advice you think the person wants to hear because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you just don't want to say anything like, I'm not touching that, but because you know it's the right advice. Now, this person, I feel, could take this advice the wrong way. It's not going to end up being a long-term thing if they get angry or upset with you. They will come around to understanding. The important thing here, and I feel like your test in the next couple of weeks, Edna, is giving the right advice, not keeping silent when it's an uncomfortable thing to give, right? Where the person probably more than likely does not want to hear it. And they're looking to you to, affirm something or tell them that something is the right decision when it's clearly not. Now, I don't know if normally that's the type of person you are, that you're just going to tell someone what they want to hear. You don't seem like it, but we are different with the people we love. Please don't do that. For as much as this person or these people, and I do think it's one person, I do think it's a younger person, for as much as they may not want to hear what you have to say, they need to hear what you have to say. And even if they go and do the complete opposite, they will have heard it and retained it, and it will change things for the better for them. If you stay silent, that's fine too, but you're just going to keep going through the same lesson over and over again of wanting so badly to help, but being afraid of saying the wrong thing for fear of offending or upsetting. And I do feel like you really do have a heart for this person. And while normally you would just tell someone how it is, with this person, you're more sensitive and you're more patient. But the universe is saying tough love. And I hate that term, but that's what I'm hearing. Yeah. And of course.
Okay. Next is nut slap. Then read the private message.
I just did. Thank you.
Okay.
So nut slap, divine, netter.
Yep.
We didn't do mark.
We didn't. Well,
No.
let's do mark now.
Mark?
Then we'll do nut slap. Then we'll do divine. Then we'll do netter. Then your timestamps. Okay. Unless Kelly pops it. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, Mark. I said hello and everything. Sorry.
He got caught up. Oh.
So sorry.
So guys, if you do come across any writing positions, some of you guys watch other channels, they may need somebody. Please let me know, because I have no income right now aside from YouTube, and I can't work outside of my house just yet. So I really need a writing job. And the fact that this person had their friend reach out to me the next day to pretend to offer me a job was like, that was bad. Like, that was the one thing that hurt me the most, because it's like I knew that's what was going on, and I just ignored it because I was so hopeful that, okay, I'd get another job writing right away. Mark, I'm using the Shaman's Dream. I love this deck. You got the Stranger card, card number 53, the card of Curiosity. Nice, Netter. I love garage sales. I love thrifting. Yeah, a person that used to work with the guy I was writing for that didn't pay me, that all this stuff went down. Someone used to work with him. They had a falling out because of the same BS, not getting paid, not wanting to pay. And this person I thought they still weren't talking. So he reached out like the day after, and I was like, that's weird. Then they came into my stream that night and were like, I just want to spread the love. I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, we're ending. That was all to see what I was saying in stream and to reach out to me to see what I would say about the other person. No, this is Mark. Then we're going to read for you. Mark, the stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of other beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss the opportunity for learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelop you as you explore the possibilities. This is a departure from your own expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for other points of view, other ways of seeing with humility and grace. Hey, Bat Mom! This is a defining moment. Take the risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. Mark, this actually came through really clear for me. So I know it's going to resonate very, very quickly. If not now, it'll, what's the word I'm looking for? Manifest. So I do feel like you're still on this spiritual and energetic exploration. You have grown so much in those areas in just a short amount of time. Well, I think a little over a year. Possibly 2, I think a little over a year that I've known you, or almost 2, I should say. But I do feel like there's someone around you who's going to either become interested in this spiritual journey you're on in some aspect of it. So whether it's like, the Bigfoot stuff or the sound healing stuff, there's some aspect to what you're working on personally that someone maybe that you least expect is going to become interested in. The universe is telling you, keep your eyes open and understand that even if in the past you got mocked or belittled or maybe shut out, disowned, whatever the case may be, and like you've lost people, I feel like this person has a genuine yearning to learn. And I feel like the minute you accept not to be like a constant teacher, an actual like professional thing, but like just, letting this person come along when you do meditations or what, apply it how it resonates. I feel like you're really not going to want to do that. I feel like you're maybe a little unsure like of how other people see the things that you do. I understand that because even when people seem earnestly interested in my abilities, I always kind of feel like I'm a sideshow. Right? Even when people aren't making me one, because it's happened to me so many times, I feel like that's you. There's something here that someone is asking you about, and because it's one of the people you'd least expect, you're immediately going to think they're effing with you and you're going to shut them out. You're not only there to help this person, they also have something to teach you that is detrimental to you moving forward in whatever this journey is, whatever this may be about. I do think it has something to do with this community, not like within it, like it's someone from here, but it could be, but with the growing and elevating energetically, spiritual healing, there's something there that you really have to offer. And this person sees that and they're going to come to you. Don't shut anyone out who's asking you to learn from you in the next 2 weeks. Because like I said, more so than that is you learning something extraordinary and extremely important from them. Keep an open mind. She was in here. I read for her, but I think she is working probably, or
yeah, I wrote down a timestamp in case she asks.
Or the a-hole came and she had to hop off real quick.
Yeah. Now you're gonna do nut slap, right?
Well, Aunt Edna, You know the channel I wrote for and the owner of that channel, don't you? And the person offering me the fake job was from another channel that worked in tandem with that channel for a while. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at every possible way, and it's not so much that I desperately need the money. I really do. I have no income, and that's not how this is supposed to be for me with everything I've poured into this, right? But also because of the principle of it, I put up with so much from this man in the last 4 years. Not the narrator, the owner. I put up with so much. And for him to screw me out of $150 simply because I had the nerve to ask for the royalties he owed me 4 months later, it's like he expected me to just be like, okay, for like ever. And I got fed up. I needed the money. And I even told him, I said, if you don't pay me this, I'm not going to be able to get groceries. And he's like, your life's not my problem. Like, he was really just rude. What's up, Julie girl? That's okay. We're going to end soon anyway. It's like 90 degrees here and I'm dying. All right, Nutslap, this is you. Let's use human spirit. Did you get your personal, Jules? I wish. I really do. I've tried writing fiction. I have a couple of fiction books that I've started. It's just hard for me. Like, I always end up with these major plot holes, and I don't know how to write dialogue. I would want to take a course on that and like learn how to write dialogue, but you know, how am I going to do that? Oh, don't worry, sweetie. No, don't be sorry. You're fine. Nutslap, you got ducks in a row. Card number 33 in the upright. You quack me up. No, seriously. Look at ear duckies just making a mess everywhere. Take time to get your life in order by getting organized and putting all of your ducks in a row. They can make it a point to avoid chaos, clutter, and mishaps, as this will help you feel clarity. So prioritize, declutter, get it together, man. Funny enough, when you're organized, it leaves room for more ducks. So much chaos and unorganized life could lead to frenzy and anxiety, leaving you overwhelmed and feeling helpless. We assure you that once you start lining up your duckies, everything will begin to fall into place much easier. Maybe start with the smaller responsibilities and obligations, then work your way up. So, Nutslap, you've been leaving things for tomorrow that you could do today. Like, did you ever fix that water heater, sir? Steven's laughing. We were playing Fortnite and his mom walked in and she's like, what about the water heater? You know, Netter, I am going to be writing my autobiography. I think I decided that I don't care who hears what I have to say, because everything I say will be the truth. And if people don't like hearing the truth, they don't have to read it or hear it or be in my life. I'm tired of protecting people who would never protect me. Life with Bobby, I always say my ducks aren't in a row, but I'm lucky they're at least all in the same pond. Nutslap, this is just telling you to get a little bit more organized with your time. You may feel like you have no time, like no free time, no extra time. You're always doing one thing after the other, but the universe is saying, like, make sure you're prioritizing, right? Make sure that you're doing things that absolutely must be done, but also making time to have fun, you know, to do the things that you want to do. You can't constantly just do, like, go to work and then spend the rest of your day doing things for other people that are going to make them happy. Because at the end of the day, there are things you want in life that you're never going to get unless you get out there and put the effort into getting them. Okay? Take a break in the next 2 weeks. This isn't saying be lazy or put more things off. It's saying reprioritize to make sure that you and your wants and needs and feelings, etc., are at least somewhere in your top 3, right? It's honorable to want to help friends or help your mom or, you know, hang out with your nephew to help your brother out. But at the same time, what are you doing with, you know, for yourself? Like really pouring into you. It's not selfish to want to take an entire day and not talk to anybody. It's not selfish to take, you know, money that someone asked to borrow and decide to go and do something, take someone out to dinner. Like, you have to start doing more for you and less for others. Not you have to start doing more. Does that make sense? Well, Blue, I'm not quite to the we break thumbs part of the negotiations yet. But when I get there, I mean, you're more than welcome. Nice. Yeah, Knitter, exactly. That's why, you know, living with someone who I call a collector, it is hard for me because I'm a very like, I like things to be in their place. Like if you walked into my office space, I don't have an office, but like my office space, you'd be like, this is crazy. And I'd be like, no, what do you need? It's there. It's there. Like it's organized chaos. But when it's somebody else's garbage clutter and it's in my space, I literally have panic attacks. I get it. That's why I keep the common areas and like my own spaces like spotless clean, you know, aside from toys everywhere. You know, I'm not one of those moms that's like, you have to clean every scrap of toy off this floor before you can have dessert. I'm like, you know what? Let's move the couch and give them some more space. Like, it's just, yeah, Bat Mom. I have to watch, you know, reverse OCD. Who's next?
Divine. You did Nut Slap, right? So this is
Yes.
Divine. Divine.
Nut Slap had the ducks. Miss Divine, I'm using Dylan Waite. I say collector to be nice. Never know who's listening. Although I do, because one of my spies is in the chat right now. I can't wait for them to run back and tell everything that's happening. I know who you are. Just letting you guys know. I don't really care, though. When you have the truth on your side, it's very easy not to be, like, uptight and nervous about things coming out, because everything I told you guys in the beginning of this stream, I can back up. I have all the emails, Facebook messages, and texts going back 4 years, including the harassment, 4 emails from minors asking why they sent nude photos to so-and-so with promises of a job with that channel, and the person took the photos and never talked to them again. And I was like, I don't know anything about that. Like, and I forwarded them to the boss, and the boss was like, don't ever show those to anyone. I never did, but I do have them. And he ignored it completely because he was afraid of losing money for his channel. Like I said, that the culprit of that, I don't want to bring him up because he's left me alone for 3 years. Yeah, he screwed me over, but I'm over it and I'm better off anyway. Thank you, Bat Mom. Oh, yeah, 4 or 5. I'll say 4. I'll lowball it because I'm not sure if there's 5, but I know there's 4. All from minors all across the country. He sent me an expensive laptop in exchange for photos. He told me I was going to be head writer on that channel. He told me I can come live with him in his $2 million mansion in Tennessee. I'm just saying. He doesn't even live in Tennessee. But I kept it all to myself because I don't like being in the middle of drama, even when I'm not the one creating it, right? But if you mess with my money, that means you're messing with my family. And, you know, it's just wrong. I don't have a lot of money. All right, Divine. Peter Pan, card number 16. I live in Neverland with my little fairy Tinkerbell and the Lost Boys. My fiercest enemy is Captain Hook. From time to time, I fly to London to pick up my dear friend Wendy and her brothers. Some fairy dust, a few happy thoughts, and they all can fly with me and get to live extraordinary adventures in Neverland. We have so much fun in here, far away from the adult world. That's why I never grew up. This I swear. Your inner child is calling you, divine, and wants you to have some fun. Forget about the gray and boring world of grown-ups, only just for a while. There's a whole neverland to be rediscovered within you. Let go of your responsibilities just for a moment. Reconnect to your youthful joy. Remember that happy thoughts can truly make you fly. What are your happy thoughts, and what is your inner child begging you to do right now? You definitely need some fun. And I'm seeing your daughter involved in this. So I feel like there could be an opportunity coming up for you to do something special with her. Take her somewhere, go to some school function. Like there's something here that I feel like you're already willing to do it. It's just the universe is saying there's more to this than you just taking her somewhere and having fun with her. There's an opportunity there somewhere, whether it's someone you meet or something you overhear, or there's a reason you're being called to do this. You have so much on your plate and you're handling it so well. I am so proud of you. But you have to back up just a tiny bit. That doesn't mean let go of any of the responsibilities, but that means just for one day, allow yourself to not dwell on them, to get out and have fun. You're being so amazingly responsible that you're forgetting that you're human. You're not a machine, right? If you get asked out, say on a date this week or next week, go. If one of your friends wants to go have a girls' night, or a friend wants to go, as long as it's something you enjoy doing, go and do it. There's not going to be any harm in it. And there's going to be an extra reason for you to do it. I'm seeing this thing like on the side where it's like, if you do this, if you get out, if you have some fun, if you not relinquish responsibility, but just turn the responsibility down and turn having fun up, reprioritizing the two just for a little bit, one day, a couple of hours. I was telling Netter and Steven earlier that I haven't been able to dye my hair because I have issues with the water pressure in my house. The dye won't wash out. Like, it's just not enough. And I haven't been able to get a haircut since my mom moved last March, 2024 March. I have no one to bring me. I don't have anyone to, I just didn't have the time. So for Mother's Day, a friend of mine is she's going to an actual stylist, and that's what I need because my hair is all one length. So I was like, I want to go with her and get my hair professionally dyed and professionally cut, but it's a stylist. It's like $150 to $175. I can't do it. This is like that, but it's something you can do and should do for yourself without feeling guilty, say, of spending the $175, right? In that position. You might think of all of the other things that $175 could buy, but the experience you're going to have with it, just in that scenario as an example, is much more important for your spiritual growth and your journey in the long run. I get it. But in the next couple of weeks, your opportunity is going to come. Whether it involves her or not, I could have just been seeing that you're very involved in her school life. I probably could, Netter. I was probably seeing how involved you were. So it's either something you're doing with her, or it's okay to take just a little step back. And you're a mom. Yeah. And you're a mom first, but you're also a woman, right? I took the whole day off today to watch The Sopranos. I got all my work done. I did everything I needed to do, and I did everything I had to do for my husband and my home and my son and myself. But I needed a break. I love my job. But as you guys know, I have a lot going on in the background that I don't want to be dealing with. So I took a time out, and that's what you need to do. Yeah. Who's next?
Jules is next. Did she leave?
I doubt it. Even if she did, just time it for her, please.
I will do that.
She'll always come back in, or she'll check in later.
I will do that.
Julie girl, I'm going to use Dark Goddess. I hear you, Divine. I mean, I know that we're careful who we allow to watch our children anyway, right? But there is something here that you're going to immediately think this is awesome, but then immediately right after that be like, yeah, but I can't. Please do it. Please. Find a way, because it's going to end up being important in the long run. All right, Miss Julie girl. I hope you got your reading. If not, I still have it, so I could always resend it. No, I do yoga, and he usually will try to do it with me. All right. Pele, transformation. Good. I just want to like really stress it because I see it as being like so huge. You know, it's like it's going to end up being something you look back on and being like, wow, if I never did that, I wouldn't have had this amazing thing. Oh, Jules. Prayers for you, baby girl. N-O-P. Come on, Pele. All right. The heat is on and you have found yourself at a boiling point in some situation. The pressure is going to become too much and you won't be able to keep a lid on it any longer. Sorry. Annoyances, irritations, and infuriations have exasperated you until you have nothing. Until you've been left steaming. Pele, the volcanic Hawaiian goddess, recognizes the shadow side that has consumed you of late and warns that if you continued, you just may get your fingers burned. So invite Pele in to purify and release you from the blazing trail you've left in your wake. Allow her flames to lick away old hurts and wounds, replacing them with a sacred glow. Use this powerful opportunity to transform, reinvent yourself, and become the phoenix that dies and is reborn. The essence of turmoil now consumed, it is time for you to reemerge through the flames of passion as Pele ignites your heart and step forward into a newly transformed you. Take the pressure off, move on. You're no longer resonating with I cannot speak tonight. You're no longer resonating with what you once did. Embrace the element of fire, partake in a fire walk, make a list of what fuels your passions, take steps toward your goals. A change for the better is on the horizon. Thank you, Mark. I'm trying. I really am. Julie girl, I do feel like there is a situation you're fed up with or a person. Okay. Netter, you can be after the timestamps, but we're done already. Actually, I have Batmom still. I have a person or two, but if you want to be after timestamps, though, you could. Oh, there's Mom. What's up, Mommy? There is something you've been dealing with for a while, and this could be something internal as well, but I do feel it could have to deal with other people. You're fed up, and I feel like you've put your foot down in so many instances and so many with so many people. Like, you've been doing a really great job at defending your power and standing in it and standing on business with people and places and things that don't serve you anymore. But there is something or someone here that is just, you're trying to, again, we're going to talk about molding ourselves into images to be more palatable to others. Okay. You can't do that. It's like you've been bending yourself over backwards to try and either please this person, get this person to like you, make this person feel better, cheer this person up, etc., etc. They keep moving the goalpost. Whether you realize they're doing this on purpose or not, they are. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, beware of this in the next couple of weeks. I don't say this in a judgmental way because I am too. For as much as I can sit here and do these readings for you guys and communicate with spirit and do all of these things that I do to get these messages out, I am also an easily manipulated person because I want to see the best in people. I want to believe that people are working with the light that I see in them, but 99.9% of the time, that is not it. They're not. Check in with your instinct, Jules. That is going to be the most important thing. Because if you're angry or upset about something, you're not going to be thinking, too clearly or exactly as clearly as you can be. So you could be overthinking it. And you don't want to aim this at someone who really didn't do anything you're not actually mad at. Check in with your instinct and intuition. What and or who, meaning people, places, things, situations, relationships, situationships and relationships that no longer serve you. And what is this really about? Whatever it is, it's time for you to say it, really mean it, and do it. Whatever it is. Not trying to please this other person or not trying to get this situation to change. You've already put so much into it. The goalpost keeps being moved because whoever is involved here, whether it's one person or many, knows that you're going to keep jumping through hoops. Shut them down. You deserve better. Kelly, no problem. Did we read? We didn't read for Kelly, right? We're going to timestamp her. Okay. All right. So I'll read. Thanks, girly. I'll read for Kelly, then my mom. Kelly, let's do dark goddesses. So it's a little bit different than dark goddess. This is the newest one.
See, you still get put off, just like you begged, Netter. You still get to go drag your little butt back in the line.
Oh. He said, there you go, Netter. You get to drag your butt to the back of the line now. Ron, the card of upheaval. A storm is coming, Kelly. Brace yourself for a big upheaval in your life. Disagreement and issues that have been pushed down deep are bubbling to the surface. This is another theme tonight, right? We're sacrificing so much for others, or we're not saying how crappy we feel with the way certain people we care about are treating us because we don't want to stir the pot or make any waves or upset anybody. But how about the reason you're feeling this way in the first place is because of how someone else is treating you? I know this feeling all too well, wanting to call someone out and be like, listen, you did X, Y, and Z. That's why I'm upset. But at the end of the day, I'm always like, why bother? Is the person really going to care? Because in my experience, they really don't usually, right? Do your best to stay calm during this ordeal. Acting thoughtfully and with care will help guide you through this storm safely. So, Kelly, there is some upheaval, and I feel like it could already be going on, okay? It's not going to be just one area of your life with like this major thing. I feel like this is more several different things that are like all combining, and you're just like, you know what? I'm only human. Number one, start talking more to your guides and your team, your angels, ancestors, your whole spirit team, deceased loved ones. They want you to call them in. I always equate it to a tag team wrestling match. Your partner's in the ring, but you have to just sit there and watch them get the crap kicked out of them unless they tag you in. Those are the rules. That's the rules. If you don't call your team in, they cannot help you no matter how badly they want to. The only way they can is by giving you instinctual and intuitive information. And you only get that if you're really paying attention. And if you're strong enough to be able to be willing to follow it. You're able to, are you willing? The universe is saying, don't let anyone have you stepping outside of character. Somebody is trying to get a rise out of you. Somebody is trying to get you to snap. Somebody's trying to get you to say the wrong thing. So again, I said this before, so they can point the finger and say, why do you think I treated her? Like, look how she acts. Look, filming you. You're on social media snapping out when the last 8 years of the crap you put up with, nobody knows about because you stayed silent not to sully this other person's reputation, right? I know this better than anyone. I just told you guys in the beginning of the stream, everything. I laid it all out on the table. You know why? Because I have receipts and I can prove it. I have emails, text messages, everything, the whole shebang, Facebook messages of everything that happened in these situations. Kelly, don't allow someone to get you to respond or react outside of who you are now. Somebody is purposely trying to get the better of you so that you react in a way so that they can turn around and say, you know, look how you're acting, look how you're treating me. And then all of a sudden, it's no longer about what you're raging about, which is something they did. It's now about your behavior. It's a deflection technique. Take a deep breath. Do not put up with anyone's crap. And this doesn't mean you have to yell back or scream back or an eye for an eye. It means simply take a deep breath and walk away. Be the bigger person. It's such a cliche, but in this situation, in the next 2 weeks, you are absolutely going to have to be the bigger person because the other person or people here are not going to stop until they see you absolutely lose it. Do not give them what they want. Everything that's happening right now, even if it feels like your entire world is burning to the ground, it is happening for a reason, for your betterment, for the betterment of your spiritual journey on this earth right now. The universe does things for you, never to you. Yeah, Divine, go play, honey. Go have some fun, as your card said. Let me know how it goes. All right, Mom. Let's see. What do we want to use for Mom? Let's use Wild Woman. You're welcome, Kelly. Thank you. And thank all of you guys so much. For those of you who donate every week, every little bit helps. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to donate, please, if you can. PayPal, Cash App. Oh, yeah. Let me do Bat Mom. Sorry. What do we want to do for Bat Mom? Bat Mom. Energy and Spirit. Mom, you're going to be next, actually. Sorry about that. So Bat Mom and then Mom. Yeah, you got to go first. No. Because I'm going to end, I think, with Mom and then Netter. So you're fine. My mom doesn't care, and she actually doesn't like when I skip her. You know, honestly, she doesn't like that. Tells me all the time. And you're after Mom. All right, I'm going to do my mom first. Thank you, Bat Mom. But she really does. She's always like, don't do that. People are going to get mad. And I'm like, I don't think they really do. So Mommy Dearest, this is yours. Well, I've had that happen actually with people who have like really snapped out on me for reading for my mom. It was a long time ago. What's up, Juan? So Mom, this is yours. Bat Mom, you're next. And then Netter. If anyone else wants a reading, it's $2 or more. Feel free to donate more to PayPal or Cash App, or $4 through YouTube, because YouTube takes half. You don't have to pay to hang out and be here. Take what resonates otherwise. But let me know, because we are going to end soon. Juan, it's good to see you. It's good to see all you guys. I love Friday nights. All right. Why does it always have... It always has to be this. Mom, you got the Call of the Siren, the card of sexuality, card number 20. I already know what this is about anyway. How connected and comfortable do you currently feel within your sexuality? The siren reminds you, Mom, that your sexuality is made of the same energy that builds universes, as it is the life force that courses through all of creation. If you have fear or discomfort surrounding it, whether it be due to social conditioning or painful past experiences, you're being called to heal those wounds and develop a healthy, empowering relationship with it. Also, with your beauty and femininity. I'm going to stop right here. No, it doesn't necessarily mean sex. It means you as a woman, right? Embracing your... It happens all the time. Every time I read for her lately. It's you embracing yourself as a woman, not just as a mom or a friend or a daughter. It's you. I just said it to someone, you're a mom, but you're a woman too. And before I go further, I do want to say, I've been saying this to you for a while. You deserve a lot more than you've gotten in life as far as romantic relationships and intimacy and even companionship, right? What this card is saying is the same thing I've been saying to you. You may not be looking for it, but when you thought it fell into your lap, you were reinvigorated. It awoke something in you. Just because that person was the scum of the earth doesn't mean the next person will be. You can't just have that be the end all and be all, because those amazing feelings you were feeling, they were very real to you. And they will and could be again with someone very genuine who feels the exact same way. And you deserve that. Mermaids or sirens are found in the folklore of nearly every part of the world, from Mesopotamia to Europe to West Africa. They are widely believed to be youthful, feminine creatures who possess the upper body of a woman and the lower body of a fish. While there are tales that tell of the mermaid's kindness and benevolence, there are also many stories in which their striking beauty, sensual allure, and seductive song lure men into the dark depths of the sea, where they ultimately drown. The mermaid's beauty, femininity, and sensuality, juxtaposed against her mysterious, predatory, and deadly nature, symbolizes how humanity views not only the ocean itself, but how it views the feminine, and in particular, feminine sexuality. Humanity has projected onto the siren its fears, temptations, and repressed desires in relation to female sensuality. The mermaid, with her wild, untamed beauty, confidence, and independence, embodies all the aspects of the feminine that we as women must reclaim in order to heal, honor, sorry, I can't get it out, and hone our sensuality. Mom, this is about putting yourself out there, okay? Meeting new people, not being afraid because of the past experiences that you've had, and learning and growing from them. When the minute your instinct and intuition tells you something's off, we have a habit, and I just mean we as humans, when we really want to believe something, or when we really like someone, when we really want something to be true, we'll project that out. Meaning, even when our instincts are screaming, no, this isn't right, something's wrong here, we'll override it just to have those good feelings for a little while, even knowing that it's going to blow up in our face because we know deep down inside something isn't right. Now, if you get out there, put yourself out there, talk to and meet new people, someone will be coming into your life. And it could be for romance and intimacy, or just companionship. And you and I have talked about companionship so many times. Open yourself up to it. Let go of the past. Regardless, yeah, that's what happened, but that was wrong. And your instinct, and I know this, your instinct and intuition was telling you in the back of your head, something is not right, but I'm going to trust this person. I'm going to go with it. And I was doing the exact same thing. I kept telling Stephen, this is wrong. This is wrong. And it was even affecting the way I was interpreting the readings, because I wanted so badly for my mom to be happy and for it to all be what it was, but it wasn't. But the universe is saying that was nothing compared to what you will feel the next time, because whether you like it or not, the next time is coming. Don't take out what happened on the next person. This doesn't mean be constantly paranoid and suspicious of every person who says they care for you or treats you well or tells you you're beautiful and all the other things, right? What it does mean, though, is check in with your intuition. If something feels wrong, ask the person about it immediately and take it from there. Don't just bury it because you don't want to cause a problem or seem paranoid. A grown adult will understand your concerns if they really care about you, right? If someone's going to not like you or not want to see you or back away or ghost you because you're maybe a little insecure because of things that have happened to you, or maybe, you just want more reassurance, do they really belong in your life? No, because if someone cared about you and really wanted to be in your life, they would be able to give you that reassurance and take their time because they know they're not doing anything wrong. So they're not constantly waiting for it to blow up in their face or for you to find something out. You have every right to be happy in love. Don't tell yourself any different. And don't tell yourself either that, anything that happened with this other situation was, number one, your fault, or number two, like that's the end all and be all, because it wasn't. It was like gearing you up for what's next, to teach you that it's okay to talk about checking in with your intuition. It's okay to talk to someone about what you're feeling. Like when you said that to me, that didn't make sense to me. Can you explain it a little bit more? Even if you say, I don't mean to be paranoid, but I've been with some doozies, right? Like you can make a joke about it. Somebody that really wants to get to know you will laugh right along with you and talk to you about what you feel uncomfortable with. If something's making you uncomfortable, making you feel weird, you have every right to say something about it. I don't know what Eve Online is. Yeah, Mark, ever since I started charging the $2, it's been like only the same 15, 16 people. Everyone else basically ghosted me, or they listen afterwards. All right. Netter. You like deep dark
Bat Mom, right?
No. Damn it, Bat Mom. Bat Mom.
Bat Mom, then do Netter.
Poor Bat
I'll
Mom.
make them last, and then you can do timestamps, right?
I'm sorry, sweetie. He was right there. Miss Bat Mom, I'm using energy and spirit for you. Yeah, as soon as I run out of readings, I'm just done. Which, it's fine for me. I mean, I do like the longer streams, but when I was going 4 to 5 hours and walking away with $10, I don't like to make it always about money, but I try to let you guys know like where I'm coming from with it. You know, you wouldn't want to work 5 hours for $8. No, Netter, you're next. This is Bat Mom. I made a mistake. I misspoke. Bat Mom, Goddess of Dreams, card number 25 in the reverse shadow position, vision, intuition, and receptivity. Mom, did you see on Facebook RJ's school picture?
Looks good.
Bat Mom. Yeah, he just took such a hand. He always does, but like every year I'm just amazed. They do 2 school pictures a year now, one in the fall and one in the spring. Bat Mom, the Goddess of Dreams reversed indicates a feeling of distance from the spirit world and from the unlimited inspiration of your spirit guides. Perhaps you don't believe in their power anymore, or perhaps you don't trust your ability to receive and interpret messages. Or perhaps you're just too busy to pursue such spiritual approaches. Whatever the source of this disconnection, however, you are locking out a powerful flow of truly beneficial energy from your life. It's time to let go of your hesitation and open up to the ever-present assistance that your developing intuition can bring. Start to meditate on a more regular basis, even if only for a few moments each day. Invite the guidance of spirit often and trust the information you receive. So again, this is talking about, when I get some, I'll get one for you. This is talking about, once again, trusting the intuitive hits that you get. What's up, Smoochy girl? Do you know what I'm saying? None of us do it all of the time, right? I'm just learning. And even now, I'm keeping certain things to myself. Like I said, I know who the spy in here who keeps running around trying to get me in trouble with other YouTubers. I know who that person is. But it's not that I'm not believing the intuition, I'm just not acting on it. You're being called to not only believe it, but act on it as well, at least in the next 2 weeks. Bat Mom, you've been spiritually disconnected, not completely because that can never happen, but you've been so focused on what's going on around you in the human world that you're forgetting that you are on a mission here. You have a mission and you're on a journey. And the main part of that journey is for you to ascend in your soul. If we're happy in our human lives, in our humanity, that's great. But at the end of the day, the mission, the reason we're here is to learn and grow and change and elevate spiritually. Again, if we're happy, great. If we're not, that sucks, but that is not the point. And I don't mean to sound harsh. That's how it's coming in. So it's not me. Remember, spirit can usually only understand emotion as a concept. So they don't realize when it's like rude or toxic to like say certain things, certain ways. Where are we? Your soul longs for you to awaken to the amazing visions of your eternal life. My intuitive powers are truly unlimited. I trust my messages and embrace the beautiful visions of my future. So in the next couple of weeks, you are going to have a choice. Bat Mom, you're going to make many choices, obviously, but a big choice to make. It's going to be disconnecting from something or someone that's no longer serving you, not working for you anymore, or ghosting someone, cutting ties. There's like this major decision that's been brewing. Even if you're the only one who's aware of it, even if it's all on you, right? You're the one who's saying, like, if this doesn't change, I need to do that. I need to cut it off. If this person doesn't stop treating me this way, I'm done. That decision is coming in the next couple of weeks. And what the universe is saying is if you try to make that decision without talking to your guides in some way, maybe doing a guided meditation, to maybe help get you in the right mind frame, listening to some binaural beats, however you do it, check in with your intuition. And please take the advice that it gives you, no matter how hard or nonsensical or whatever it may seem. Like, it is so incredibly important, Bat Mom, in the next 2 weeks that you do exactly what your intuition is telling you to do, or not, or don't do exactly what it's telling you not to. Okay? This is one of those situations, like I've talked about with several people tonight, where it's like you want so badly to believe this person or to believe that this, whatever it is true, that you're going to go with hope instead of with what you know deep down inside of you, which is it's not. Or the opposite. You're so convinced something won't work, just stubbornly convinced, maybe because of your experiences in the past or Maybe because you've seen someone else go through it, whatever the reason, when deep down inside, your soul is longing for it. Follow your instincts in the next couple of weeks, or you're going to be sent backwards 1,000 more steps. And it's going to be really hard for you to catch back up. Netter, deep, dark, and dangerous. Hecate, illumination. Card number 21, dark, and Netter, I believe, well, obviously, because it's Hecate, you are at a crossroads in some area. So let's see. Seek and you shall find. Sometimes you need to travel through darkness to find the real treasure. Almost anything worth doing takes time. Move off the crossroads. It's time to make a considered decision and take decisive action. Keep your focus on your purpose. Do not wander off the path. For a long time, the so-called dark goddess got a bad rap. People thought if a goddess was of the dark or looked a certain way, like scary, then they were evil or nasty. The Christianization of certain mythos twisted many stories as well, in particular those deities who were female, who were perhaps magic makers, sorceresses, too independent or feisty, who were remade into evil and dangerous spirits. Stories of Circe, Kali, the Morrigan, Morgan Le Fay, and Medusa are just examples. And so when we look at a complex figure such as Hecate, it is important to understand that paradoxically, a dark deity can actually be an illuminator. Move off the blue crossroads. In 340 BCE, the greatest general of the age, Philip II of Macedon, was ready to complete the attack on the Byzantines and their allies, the Athenians, after a lengthy siege of the walls of Byzantium. It was a dark and wet, moonless night, and Philip thought this would be the perfect undercover foil for a final push and surprise attack on the city. His troops prepared for an assault on the city and were very confident of success. Happily for the Byzantines, the patroness of the city, Hecate, favored nights such as this too and was watching. As Philip's soldiers began forming their attack, Hecate lit her bright torches in the inky heavens. This unexpected bright light awoke all the watchdogs of the town, and they began to loudly bay and bark. The garrison was awoken, and they foiled Philip's attack, and this was the turning point in their siege. To thank Hecate, the city erected a special statue to her referred as the Lampidiferous, the torchbearer. It was erected on a hill above the Bosphorus Sea to commemorate Hecate's defensive aid. Hecate literally carries a torch, even though she stands in the opaqueness at a crossroad or under a moonless night sky. Yes, she carries a torch when she is striding through the darkness of the underworld, yet she is actually lighting the way out for all of us. Plant companion, garlic, crystal companion, moonstone. So, Netter, I don't want to be so blasé or cliche about saying it's time to make a decision about going forward with something. The reason I'm saying that is because in the next 2 weeks, something is going to be revealed to you. I think it's going to be revealed to you completely and totally by accident. Someone's either going to blurt something out or you're going to come across the information. I don't really know, but it's going to make something in your life make so much more sense, and it's going to embolden you to move forward. Now, this could take a few months. I want to say a couple weeks. So like I see you learning something that I believe was purposefully hidden from you or that someone didn't want you to know. And it's going to change some things. And it's not a bad thing. I feel like it's actually a good thing. Like, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's why this, and this happened. Okay, like I'm going to move forward now. I have my windows open. Sorry. The universe is saying like, don't hesitate, right? Don't overthink whatever this is. If you're ready to make a decision to go in one direction or the other, or just to start doing one thing in your life differently, there's a reason you're being enlightened, urged in that direction to do that thing that way. Nothing really is by accident. It's either by choice or destiny. Your destiny is very, very slowly, but very surely coming into alignment. And you're decluttering and cleaning up. You're like, wow, it did so much for me. Yeah, you were enlightened to do that. You were divinely inspired to do that, to make room, not literal room like in your house, but room in your life for something and or someone that's coming in. This is a really important decision. I do feel like you've been dwelling on this decision, not like in a bad way, but just you've been mulling it over and over and over and over and over for a really long time. It could even be a why me sort of thing. In the next couple of weeks, that last piece of the puzzle is going to become crystal clear for you, and you're finally going to be able to make a choice, a decision, or a move in some direction. Make sure you do it completely by instinct, and you won't regret it.
And that's it.
Whose timestamps? KC, Eris, and Tennille.
Yep.
KC, I am going to use the Talisman Oracle. Is that Puff Puff? Yep, that's it.
Giles must be home.
I got to get up early for soccer anyway on Saturdays, so it doesn't matter to me anymore. If people don't think a reading's worth $2, they don't deserve a reading. Let them go to the millions of fakes and phonies on the internet. Luna, Miss KC, you got the Luna card. My Pisces friend, that makes sense. Cancer is always associated with the moon, but it's also a Pisces thing too, the emotion. This card represents the freedom of desire and the illuminated path of moonlit dreams. The night can bring comfort to let your imagination fly and to show your wild side. Casey, in the dark, our subconscious can bring to the surface vivid clues of a hidden situation. You can achieve your goals and desires if you pay close attention to the limitations of logic and reason. Again, we're following. All right, good night, Mom. Love you. We're following our instinct and intuition, not our minds, not our hearts, not anyone else's advice or opinions or judgments, right? We're being guided by intuition and instinct only. This card can also represent prophetic dreams and the unrealized wild side that calls upon you. Now, I don't really see a wild side, but I see a sense of like a sort of rebellion here because, again, like we talked about a little bit in your personals and like we talk about almost every week, there is someone or several someones around you who are very against something that you're either believing in, donating to, volunteering for. There's something here that you're giving to. And I think you're giving more than your time, but it could just be volunteering your time. There are people who you care about who are adamantly against this, and I think that's just because they don't understand it and they're worried for you. It's not your job, Casey, to make them understand. Okay? It's just not. They have to accept that you are a grown woman allowed to make your own decisions. Period. It doesn't matter that you're grieving. It doesn't matter any of that, because if you weren't grieving, I still think you would have ended up somehow in this, because I do think the lessons you're going to learn throughout whatever this is and within whatever this is are a part of your destiny. Edna, thank you. I know you guys do, and that's what brings me back every week. I've restarted, as I think a lot of you know, the pre-recordeds on Monday, part 2 of house number 333 coming up. And then I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something really cool for next week planned. Casey, use the Luna card to conjure some moon magic and to evoke prophetic dreams, epiphanies, and your imagination. You could be getting a visit from a deceased loved one. I don't know who. I have a good idea, but I'm not 100% sure. Dreams. You're going to be getting a dream visit from a deceased loved one or an ancestor very soon. I would recommend, as I'm seeing, like your team is like, tell her to keep a journal. If you don't already keep a book next to your bed, the minute you wake up, write down your first 5 thoughts. If you can't remember the dream or nightmare, if you remember it, write down as much as you can. But key words, once you do that every single night, If you wake up like, oh, I can't remember what that dream was, or I can't remember what I'm scared of, it doesn't matter. First 5 words that come to your mind, or first 5 sentences, first 5 things, it doesn't matter. When you come back and read it 2 or 3 weeks later, you will understand most of it. Use the Luna card to conjure moon magic and to evoke prophetic dreams, epiphanies, and your imagination. Try telling the moon your deepest wishes and inspirations. So this doesn't necessarily mean going out and talking to the moon. I mean, it could, absolutely. But it could also just mean talking to your spirit team, going outside, grounding, barefoot in the earth, and pantomiming a shower or bathing in the moon, in the glow of the moon. I know it's sounds strange or silly, but I really do think it'd be beneficial. Bobby, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But you're here. You at the very least come and listen. And if you can't come into chat, you listen after, you give a like. That's exactly what I mean. If people can't pay or don't want to pay, and there will be random times when I just give readings. I love doing the readings. I don't want it to be about the money. It's just right now my position is it has to. But the people who really support me will be here for me anyway, right? And be honest, I can't afford it right now, but here I am anyway showing support. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the reason I'm being really like a stickler for this $2. I usually leave this stream with $4 that I made, because I have members and I get that like the 8th of the month. But it's the point for me that I want to show people you can't just come in here and use me and then go off and talk about me in other streams or whatever, right? No, Bobby, being here is a big deal. Exactly. And everyone in here almost has. No, I love you all. And I never mean that in a way to like guilt or shame anybody. Again, it's not really the money. I could charge way more and go live on TikTok. It's about like the principle of it is why I started doing it. After you state your wish, Casey, say, and so it will be. Manifest it, right? Believe that it's already in motion. Positive manifestation, the power of words. And this isn't talking about toxic positivity. And yes, our conscious minds aren't the only things that make up our vibration, but you can get a manifestation workbook. You can write your manifestation 50 times. You can say it out loud 5 times every single day. Put whatever this is out there, your wants, your hopes, your dreams, and communicate with your spirit guides and your team, okay? There's an important message that's trying to come in. And I do see, I'm sorry, when spirits around my nose always itches. You guys know that. I do see really important information coming through, but I see it taking a while, like several months for you to grasp what exactly is being said. All right. Lotus Girl. I'm going to use Halloween. And then for Eris, I'm going to use Goddess Power. I explained all of everything in the beginning. That's probably the last time I'm going to talk about it unless it comes up again. But yeah, if you guys missed it and want to hear, it's like the first 10 minutes. I explained a lot of things going on in the background, things that have been done to me by other people in this community that I've been keeping silent about, but also that I can prove. All right. Tennille, you have the underworld where all things pause and begin again. She does because she's an abuser. The idea of an underworld, a whole realm. My pod just exploded. It's getting too hot. The idea of an underworld, a whole realm that we go to after we die, is a concept that crosses a huge variety of cultures and eras. The Sumerians, the Turkish, the Incas, the Greeks, through to the Siberians, the Maori, and the Khmers all had a distinct word for the underworld. What is different, though, is how those cultures treat this concept, whether the underworld is seen as a place of rest and rejuvenation or of horror and punishment. The Christian hell is a place of darkness, fire, and punishment. The Egyptian underworld is one of judgment, peace, and renewal. The Maori culture is an in-between place of waiting, wisdom, and transition. Should the underworld card be present in your reading, you're being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier and more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. Now, we've talked about this, Tennille. It may involve trials and tests, but keep moving. Whilst things may fall away and your life may appear bare for a time, this is temporary. Space is being made into which you can create the new. We've talked about this so many times, but it is very important to continuously reiterate, okay? Everything happening right now, again, with the cliches, it is happening for a reason. And once the dust settles, there's going to be a whole world of different opportunity before you, because I don't think some of the things that you're doing in your life in general, not that they're bad, they're just not for you anymore. And that's why nothing seems to be able to work out. No matter what you do or how you do it, it seems that this one or two things in your life just cannot seem to, nothing can go right in these situations. It's because they're coming to an end, whether you like it or not. So you can go kicking and screaming into this new chapter, transition phase, etc. of your life, stage of your life, or you can be like, well, this sucks that this is happening again, or it sucks that that didn't work out, but understand in the back of your mind that as you're going through the motions of trying to make whatever this is work, the universe is working against you, but it's working against you for a higher purpose, a greater reason, and for your bigger destiny to kind of come together. Miss Eris, Goddess Power. Bridget in the reverse, Creative Spark, card number 3, or is that an 8? An 8. I was looking at it upside down. Eris, sometimes sometimes you get into a creative slump and you feel frozen in midair, unable to move in any direction. Perhaps you're unsure of the next step with someone new, something new, or a project becomes a looming behemoth in your mind, or you can't think of anything to say in certain social situations or moments. Maybe you think all of your best ideas have passed. Bridget offers you the alignment task of moving your attention away and remembering what it was like when you were little, when you finger painted and drew stick figures and played with your pals in the sandbox or playground. What moved you and lit you up then is the same creative spark that can move you now. Playful curiosity is what's called for you at this time. Don't take yourself or your current conditions too seriously. It's time to be free from the burden of expectation you've set upon yourself. Don't try so hard. The triple goddess of the hearth, the forge, and inspiration brings all her aspects together to help you sparkle. Eris, I just feel, as soon as I picked up this card for you, it was like this overwhelming burden was on me. But I couldn't focus on one particular thing, meaning there are lots of things, just like I just said to Tennille, and just like with so many of us, that don't seem to be working in your life. And this is the universe asking you to reevaluate truly and deeply in your intuition why this may be. You're going to have to accept things you don't want to accept. That you don't, what's up, Max? Sorry, I didn't see you there. That you don't want to be true, right? That you expected better from this person, or you expected this situation to turn out better, but it's not going to. And if you really think about it, you kind of knew that in your instinct and intuition all along. I hope you can get a personal sometime soon. I know you've wanted one, and I hope we can work that out, because I do feel like there are doors opening up for you, but you're not really seeing it because you're blinded by the expectation of how certain things in your life are supposed to happen, how certain things are supposed to manifest, how they're to come about. And none of that is happening. So you think nothing that you want is happening, nothing that you're working for or toward is happening. But that's not the case. It's just happening on your periphery because you can't see past your expectation of how it's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to go. Max, I'm sorry I didn't see you. I didn't mean to ignore you. I hope that's not why you left so quickly. All right, everyone. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to put my decks away, do some yoga, clean my face, get ready for bed. I have soccer with the little guy in the morning. Remember to donate PayPal or Cash App if you can, so I get all of the donation. If you can help me out. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. And more than likely, regarding, provided nothing crazy happens, Ghostdragonzw and I will see you at 1 p.m. Eastern for Paranormal Talk Tuesday. Nuts up in a few minutes. I just want to get my decks put away and get into my jammies because I'm sweating to death and I want to get this makeup off my face. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your support, whether it's financial or otherwise. Everything I said tonight, I have receipts to back me up, but I don't want to really have to show them because I don't want to be involved anymore. I just wanted my side to be said. The spy that was in here tonight can go run tell that. And I'll talk to you all Tuesday and or next Friday. Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern will be part 2, the final part of a 20-year haunting, house number 333.